Does 50-50 help or hurt relationships? Man, let's get into this thing right now. Yeah. It's your boy JD, live and direct to you. You know what it is. Come on and join in. Yeah, what up? It's your boy JB coming at you live and direct, and you know what it is. It's the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. I'm the Real Cigar Jeff. You can find me on Instagram at the Real Cigar Jeff. You can find me on Facebook at Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. And of course, you're watching this on YouTube. So you know what I need you to do. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications, man. Share this with your friends and family. We on our way to 100,000 subs. And with content like this, that's how we gonna get there, man. Tonight's topic is, does 50-50 help or hurt relationships? And y'all know we done turned into the relationship experts, the love doctors. I gotta welcome back to the panel. He had to take a week off last week, but he back in the building. I'ma let let him tell y'all. Welcome back to the dog, Big J. Tell them who you are, where they can find you on socials, and what you sipping on, if anything, right now.
Yes, your boy is back. It's your big homie, Big J the Barber. Y'all know y'all missed y'all boy. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm drinking on is just on my little red cup right here. Little Tito's and water action. But at the end of the day, y'all know y'all missed me.
Hey, look, remember that episode of Martin when he had Tommy Davidson on it? Did you miss me? Man, we appreciate Big J making it back. We appreciate Big J making it back. Yes, sir. And then of course, y'all know who we got next. The self-prescribed people's champ. My dog is in the building. Y'all love him because he love to hate on me. And the hate has been real since the last podcast, guys. He's been in round 4. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Tell y'all where y'all can find him on the socials. And what he's sipping on and smoking on tonight.
What's going on? Thanks for having me yet again, JB. It's your boy TLC. You can always find me on Instagram at TLClayton1. Tonight I'm finishing off this Bullet Bourbon. And I have a Gurkha stick here. This is the 10th anniversary.
Oh,
stick,
hey,
so,
yeah. Okay, you see when people get a good stick, they got to put it in the camera. Yeah, hey, y'all notice his sponsorship went away. He had sponsorship last week. The sponsor said, "Man, you can't be up there getting your lunch eaten by JB and still get the." Yes, Lord. Here, guys. All right, TLC is in the building. Y'all know I got to show him a little love. All right, that's enough for TLC. And of course, man, this is the first time ever on the podcast. My A1 from day one is in her car. Always committed to the podcast, can't call out. She knows, obligated by the blood to be on the podcast, man. I'm going to let her introduce herself. Tell y'all what she was drinking, and then she going to grab a drink when she get home until her next stop.
What's up, JB? Thanks for having me on the call. Welcome back, Big J. TLC, number love for you. It's your girl, Rhonda. I was out at an event tonight, so I'm sipping on my little coconut espresso cafe latte, some fancy drink from Amelie's French Bakery. If you're in Charlotte, you got to get it. Stop by the place. We were uptown for an event. They opening up the uptown location again, so y'all in Charlotte, check out Amelie's French Bakery. So that's what I'm sipping on tonight till I get home and get me some Crown Apple. Back to you, JB.
Yes, Lord. And y'all know, man, I'm sipping on my TLC. I stopped by and got that today. I went ahead and got my Russell's Reserve 10 year. Little, TLC, you can add that to your cabinet. And of course I'm smoking my Romeo and Julieta 505 Nicaraguan because I got to bring that heat tonight. So y'all know how that is, man. I forgot, Rhonda. Hold on. Yeah, that's for Rhonda right there. My bad. Hey, you know how it is. I got to do that, man. Sorry about that, Rhonda. We are in the game, man. Once again, I appreciate I appreciate my panelists, TLC. I appreciate you flying the colors, bruh. I see the shirt is in the building. I see the smoke something, drink something flag is flying. That's going to get you all the ladies right there. BB, watch out for what's going to happen in your DMs now. Yes, Lord. So, guys, tonight's topic, does 50-50 help or hurt relationships? Y'all know the rotation. Big J, when you got the topic, what's the first thing you started thinking?
First thing that came to mind was Dwayne Wade and what's his wife's name?
Gabrielle Union.
Gabrielle Union. That's the first thing that came on mind. And then also the second thing that came on mind, y'all already know what I'm finna say, is Two Type of Men. But regardless of the case, man, I'm going to be 100. I actually think 50-50 helps the relationship because of what I've been through. I've been through both sides of the spectrum. I did when, you know, I was taking care of all of the bills and everything and, you know, above and beyond from what we was quote unquote taught how to be back in the day. But 50-50 actually makes things a lot more easier whenever you have two individuals that come together and have the same train of thought, the same vision, the same goals and focuses. So in my opinion, when we elaborate later on, I know we're going to, but I think 50-50 actually helps relationships.
Okay. Big J has come into the building with what he thinks. TLC, we got to come to you because I'm waiting. I've been waiting on your take all week.
I know you have.
Yeah, I've been waiting on your take all week. Jay came in a little professional and polished tonight, didn't he? Yeah, Jay trying to set us up. I ain't falling for it. He trying to set us up to say, okay, let me see what these guys thinking first. I can already see it in TLC. What you thinking?
Well, I would say it's how you define 50-50. So when I think 50-50, I'm thinking of give and take. Which when I think give and take, I think of negotiating. Which brings me back to my childhood. You know, when you were a kid, you're on the playground, everybody had those little collectibles, whether you traded baseball cards or basketball cards or Garbage Pail Kids back in the day. You know, you would trade cards. So for this example, let's just say I'm a Lakers fan. I have all of the 1982 Lakers roster except for James Worthy. That's the only card I don't have. Now, let's say Rhonda has that card that I need, but she wants maybe LeBron James's rookie card. I could say, okay, let's make a trade. I'll give you a card. You give me a card. That's a 50-50. We both gave each other a card on one hand, but on the other hand, that James Worthy card may not be as worth as much value-wise as the LeBron James card. So it's not actually 50-50. The cards have different value. Now, she doesn't know that that's the James Worthy card is the only card I need to complete my collection. So that James Worthy card to me might be worth more.
Man, what the hell?
That's my point. It's not.
I don't know where he going with it.
You're saying.
I'm waiting for the point.
I'm getting to the point. You're saying 50-50. On one hand, we're both giving each other a card, so it's 50-50. But on the other hand, each card doesn't have the same value. So it doesn't matter if you're talking business or relationships. It's about what are you getting out of it and what are you willing to give up.
And TLC, check the chat. Check the chat. You got somebody who agree with you. That's what's scary. You got somebody who agree with you, TLC. Check the chat. It don't mean nothing, but at least you got somebody who agree with you. Right? Look, in here trying to save you already.
But it does come down to how do you define 50-50? What do you mean when you say 50-50?
Okay, we'll get to you. We'll get to
100%. That sentence I agree with. But the rest, I was like, I was waiting for Jeff to say. I was waiting for Jeff to say, what the hell?
I was about to wrap him up. I was about to wrap him up, Jay. I was about to wrap him up. I'm like, man, ain't nobody talking about Jane Worthy. Rhonda, jump in there, Rhonda. Let us know what you thought about it when you heard the topic.
TLC, you know you're gonna be all right with these guys, but
I got this.
Yeah, right. So yeah, of course, I thought about Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, of course, with how that whole thing came out with them not too long ago. But I also know that 50-50 is good in a relationship because both people bring something different to the table at certain times. And so if you could have 50-50, if you're talking about spending money, listen, I don't necessarily agree with it, but hey, if it works for you, let it be what it is. But I do believe that if you don't have some component of 50-50 at some point in your relationship, then are you even in a relationship? Back to you, JB.
Okay. Hey, man, look, I like what y'all bringing. I like what y'all bringing, man. And you know, I get to come in here. I get to come in here with my interpretation, man. And I think 50-50 is detrimental to relationships. And I think it's one of the biggest cliches that start relationships off wrong. I think it should be 100-100. And a lot of people don't. And where I'm going with this, guys, is we grow up with certain cliches. And then when you get in it, you realize you've been taught wrong. And what it should be is 100-100. Because although we share, even you may be sharing 50-50 of the expenses, 50-50 of the child duties, 50-50 of the household chores. I'm just kind of bringing that up. But when I see this, I see a lot of relationships mean that, look, I just got to do half and I've done my part. No, you got to do 100% and you've done your part. And a lot of people think, okay, well, if the meal costs $20 and you got 10, if you got 10, but I don't have my 10, I'm a failure because I don't have my 10. And that's what a lot of things that happen with 50-50. Bless you, Jay. But that's what happens with 50-50. We brought up Gabrielle Union, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Gabrielle Union bought that up because Gabrielle Union wanted to be relevant. I ain't see no receipts. Where she giving 50-50. And what you said, Jay, what you said, Rhonda, what 50-50 is she talking about? Is it 50-50 with the kids? Does she pick them up 3 days out of the week or 4 days out of the week, and he picks them up the other 2 days of the week or whatever? Jump in there, TLC. Let me know what you think.
When you say you both need to give 100, I mean, you don't see Gabrielle's 50-50. What do you mean by 100-100?
No. What I'm saying to you is that Gabrielle never showed you any receipts of her 50-50. Gabrielle was just trying to be relevant. That lady will do anything to get in the news, and she should, because that's how they make their money, is to stay relevant. When I say 50-50 hurts relationships, guys, I'm just saying that when you talk to people who are in a 50-50 relationship, all they do is focus on what the other person didn't do. Right? They tell you what they did, but then they love to tell you when the other person can't perform. And so Jay just said it. He's been in both of them. A lot of people at some point will be in a relationship where it's 50-50, 100-0, or whatever. But the reality is we gonna define 50-50. That's what the podcast needs to do tonight. And then once you define what your 50-50 is, that's when you can answer whether it helps or hurts. Why I'm going there, Jay, because I'm coming back to you, is that 50-50 means that we share what? Because it should be 200% people, two whole people. That after I pay my 50 or after I do my 50, that doesn't mean I stop. Both of us are fighting to do 100. That's what 50-50 should be. It's not let me do my part so I can show you that you didn't do yours. Jump in there, Jay. Let me know what you're thinking.
Yeah, I agree to a certain extent of what you're saying. Despite the receipts or not, you know what I mean? It just comes back to reality of what I'm gonna express what I've been through, and regardless of the case of Gabrielle's receipts or not, Dwayne Wade guy asked the question, and during his interview, I really respect what he said in the interview because it's kind of like how I see things. In the interview, he said, some of y'all are taking things out of proportion of what she's trying to say. He said that of course we got 100% of everything that we do based on our lifestyle and our family members, our kids. Yep. She has her family members she take care of. He has his family members that he takes care of 100, despite of whatever they got going on based on their family and relatives. However, when it comes to household things, he says one time that he mentioned to Gabrielle Union, he said, he was a sentence that was quoted, and he said, my house. And she said that'll never come out of his mouth ever again. Now, the thing is that they decided to go and purchase another home, and they said, you know what, during this purchase, we're going to go 50-50. That's where the 50-50 comment came from, which means that it's going to be our home. Anything that happens within the bills is going to be our bills. It's going to be, you know what I mean? anything that we want together is going to be ours. So I can see exactly where she's coming from when it comes to that, because it kind of does make sense. Prime example, if they say, for instance, they want to go on a cruise. Yeah, of course, Dwayne Wade was like, yeah, I went ahead and booked this on this cruise. I'm going to pay 100% of it. But yeah, Gabrielle Union will say, well, I'll tell you what, you know what I mean? Let's go on a better cruise. I'm going to go ahead and tap in on that so we can go on a better cruise, despite I know you could pay for it, but let's upgrade this cruise and I'm going to put in on this. Ain't nothing wrong with that, because she has her own money. He has his own money. So at the end of the day, whenever someone sees the value of bettering whatever they choose to want to do, maybe, okay, I'm going to pay 1.2 for this house. Okay, Gabrielle said, well, hey, baby, guess what? Let's do 2.2 on the house, because I like this house a little bit better. It'll fit the family members better. So I'm going to put in on this so we can go a little bigger. It's like, that's the value of seeing two people come together to go ahead and enhance the value of what they want, in comparison to just letting it fall back on one person. So, but with that being said, I like that.
Well, and Jay, appreciate you saying that. You got a valid point. What my perspective is, TLC, before I come to you, Ronda, since TLC interrupted me here. I'm gonna let. I got to punish him. He don't get to be number 2 now. But when I tell people that it needs to be 100, because if you think 50-50, all I'm saying, guys, the reason why I think it hurts relationships, 50-50 is what happens when you got to go through a divorce. You'll never hear anybody talking about 50-50 when it's at the wedding. 50-50 is a divorce. If you operating in 50-50, that means a divorce is gonna come. Because what's the first thing they do when they sit you down? We got to split the assets down the middle. Yeah, and now that's why we got this term. Remember, guys, this 50-50 hurt the relationship. So like Jay said, if Gabrielle Union want to pay for the upgrade, if I book the cruise and Gabrielle Union want to pay for the upgrade, okay, I see that as 50-50 because both of us agree on the trip. Yeah. Not how much I paid for the trip or how much you paid for the trip. If you decide to come with me, we 50-50. Right? And what do I mean by that? I mean, I'm saying to you guys, I'm going to eat regardless. I'm going to drink regardless. If you come with me, that's your contribution. I'm not going to, if I have to stop, if I can't bring you, and then I get there and expect you to contribute, now that's going to cause a problem, because I just can't bring you and then not give you any input on where we're going, and then still expect you to contribute in equal parts. That's why I said the 100%, if he buys a $2.2 million house and she says yes, in my world, that's contribution. Even if I paid a whole $2.2 million, in my world, that's contribution, right? When we go deep sea fishing, guys, it doesn't matter how many people catch fish. Once we max out, we all split it, because it didn't matter who caught it. Now you better catch something, because if not, you're gonna get clowned the whole time until the next trip. But we contribute. If you were on the boat, even if you didn't catch nothing, you contributed. You get you some bags of fish when we get back to the dock. Jump in there, Ron, and let me know what you think when you hear me say that.
I mean, I like the idea of each person bringing 100% and 100%, because we are two whole different people. But I also like that concept, how Big J broke that down with where that comment came from, because a lot of women could operate from a space of 50-50, because maybe they tried it the other way, and like going forward, I was with a joker, and now where I was probably doing 100%, so 50-50 probably seems scary or safer. Safer, because you can't trust somebody. But using those examples, when you got dealing with people with money, yeah, I don't know that you even have to deal in percentages, because everybody gonna eat. Everybody gonna have a place at the table. But when your money is funny, you'll break down everything into percentages. Back to you, JB.
And it's so funny, because that's what, when you hear 50-50, guys, that's a money conversation.
Yeah.
And the money conversation gonna ruin the relationship. And again, it's just, if I get you a gift for your birthday, I don't expect you to get me a gift for my birthday. That ain't why I'm doing it. Right. You got people are trying to make people do equal contribution when you are not equal in a relationship in every area. And Jay, I'm gonna come back to you after I come to TLC. If I'm skilled in this area, I need to give my best in that area. If you're skilled in another area, you need to give your best in that area. And we need to stop competing, because 50-50 means competing. And then somebody got to fight for that 1% to get us over the hump, versus complementary. right? Versus complementary. Because again, if you go from competing to complementary or competing to collaboration, that's when I say TLC 100 and 100. Because just because you're lacking in one area doesn't mean you're not superior in another area. And because we complementary, guys, all of a sudden things start working out. But get away from that 50-50 term, because that's exactly what happens at the divorce table. Jump in that TLC. Let me know what you're thinking.
It sounds like to me your 50-50 and your 100-100 are the same thing to me, which was going back to my first point about you can have two things with two different values. So, like, I don't know a lot about the Gabrielle Union situation, but I'll use that for an example. So let's say she says she wants to take a cruise and she's going to pay for the whole thing. And then, for all I know, maybe on the next trip, maybe Dwayne Wade is going to pay for the whole thing. Just because she's paying the whole thing for one trip doesn't necessarily mean she's not 50-50 in the relationship. Maybe it's just for that one event. She's just taking care of that one event.
Well, TLC, I want to jump in there, then I want to let Jay get back in there. I think one of the things we got to look at is she 50-50 on decision making? Right? Because we clearly know he makes more money. He has more resources. Is it 50-50 on the decision making? Are we going to come to a consensus? I saw Jay's story the other day. He was at the Transformers movie. Now, if you go with somebody, first thing you say is, hey, I want to go see Transformers. You want to go? Or you going to say, hey, thinking about seeing a movie. Which one do you want to see? And we'll go. Right? That's typically what I talk about with 50. When I hear people talk about 50-50, it's technically a money thing and contribution thing tangibly versus understanding that, guys, 1 + 1 = what, TLC? What does 1 + 1 equal, TLC? 4. Give me the right answer. Right? Okay. No problem. That's the whole point. In some relationships, it do. In some relationship, it does equal 4. Why? Because they have decided to exponentially work together versus fighting each other to be able to get on social media and say, I did this and I did that. And that's what you guys are seeing right now. This is what, how many people are getting on their Instagram where these people are talking about, okay, you need to do this and you need to impress me with this and I need to know you got this and I need to know you got that. And all of us, why? Instead of saying, how do we complement each other? How are we compatible with each other? Jump in there, Jay, and kind of tell me when you hear me say 1 + 1, well, Torrance said 4, but 1 + 1 = 2. 0.5 + 0.5 = 1. Why wouldn't I want 2 instead of 1? Go ahead, Jay. Let me know what you think.
Well, going back to also what you said about the Transformers movie. I mean, every relationship is different. You know what I mean? Uh-huh. Every single relationship is different, but it's based on compromise, and it's also based on what you guys choose to agree on. So my thing is that before, when I had prior relationships, yeah, I went into the mindset that as soon as I get into a relationship, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of everything. That's just how I was before. Guess what? That shit didn't work out. So it just came.
Don't forget your mute button. Don't forget your mute button. Welcome back to the panel, Big J.
Yeah. Hey, don't worry about it. I'm gonna do that to JB too when he says shit. Yeah. But you know. But anyways, going back to what I'm saying, it was a question of it wasn't really a question. It was a statement of, let's go see Transformers. It ain't, do you want to see Transformers or whatever the case may be. As soon as I say, let's go see Transformers, one or two things happen. You know what I mean? The missus decided to go ahead and be like, okay, sure, let's go see it. She looks up the movies, she finds the tickets, and she pays for it. Guess what? It's all done, said, and no, you know, anything else. We already know what we're doing for wherever we go to see it, right? When I get to the movies, I go ahead and say, okay, what you want to eat? Get whatever you want. I get whatever I want, and then I'm going to pay for it. Guess what? That's what happens when it came to 50-50, right? She paid for the tickets, I paid for the meal. We all went ahead and made sure that we had a compromise. Nobody is stuck trying to figure out who's going to pay for what, and also ain't going to be stuck just trying to pay the whole bill. Now, again, that may work for some people. It may not work for others.
Hey, Jay, hold on, Jay. Hey, hold on, Jay. I want to interrupt you for a second. Compromise. Why are you using the word compromise? Because it sounded like compatibility. Nobody gave anything up.
Right.
Yeah, so go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah. No, you're right. It did sound about with compatibility, because sometimes if you're not compatible with the person that you choose to be with, then of course there's going to be questions. So my thing is I can only talk about what I've been through, right? And so with that being said, I like the fact that I don't have to really worry about taking care of everything by myself, because I always say if I need to do things by myself, I need to be by myself. That's just how I feel and how I live my life. Now, when it comes to finances, like Rhonda said, you know, it comes to people who make that high money, right? Me personally, if I was to ever get into that tax bracket and I met a female that didn't bring nothing to the table, didn't do nothing, didn't work, never worked, never did anything, but all they did was just chase the bag, which means the person with the bag, I'm not going to get in that type of relationship to begin with anyways, because that's like a dependent. I'm not sitting here trying to be with a dependent. I'm sitting here trying to be with someone who actually wants to bring something to the table as well. So when we choose to want to go on a vacation, choose to want to go out, choose to want to go to dinner, you know, either one of us could pick up the bill, but we don't have to think about like, oh man, you got it or I got it or whatever the case may be. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to pay for it. But at the same time, she said, no, don't worry about it. Let's go ahead and pay, you know, I'm going to pay a portion of that, or I'll pick up the tip, or whatever the case may be. Then in my opinion, that feels good to me. So,
and again, I want everybody to understand that's why we having this discussion, the 50-50 help or hurt. Now, what I'm going to say, guys, is this. When you are in your relationship, and I'm gonna do another podcast when TLC come back from his week sabbatical, so he can go focus on his comedy. But I'm letting y'all know now, we gonna do a podcast on are gold diggers good or bad? Are gold diggers good or bad? And we gonna get everybody's opinion on that. And the reason why I'm saying that, I've come across some information. I got an article sent to me that I was just gonna do a separate podcast. And man, I wish I had a cigar segment, but I said I need to bring this before the love doctors. I need to bring this before the love doctors and let them decide what they think. Now, I'm piggybacking off of what Jay said, and one of the things you guys are going to find is this: your relationship is based on, the level that you're at. And one of the things I tell people is where a person meets you is where they anchor you, and you gotta understand for growth purposes. And the reason why I wanted this topic to be 50-50 is because it's hard to not make it about money. And that's what we're going to try to evolve beyond, because at the end of the day, guys, your relationship problem ain't because who's picking up the tab. Your relationship problem is that two people should want to do for each other equally in their capacity.
Right. Okay.
So if you work, if you don't work or whatever, are you the best at what you do give? Mm-hmm. Because what happens is, and again, I'm probably gonna get this video is probably gonna get throttled back once I say this. Everybody trying to get in the roles they shouldn't be in. Everybody trying to be certain stuff that they weren't designed to be. And now it's just causing all this confusion in relationships. I'm gonna leave it at that because I want to make sure I don't get my video throttled back, because I've been told that this last one we did, y'all gonna probably cross over 10,000 views. So I want to make sure that the videos keep growing. But we got a lot of people who are confused about what their purpose is and what their design is, Jay. I'm gonna just use the word design. And if you mess up the design from the manufacturer, the product ain't gonna act right. And so now we start fighting against each other instead of recognizing that this is your strength, this is my strength, and together 1 + 1 = 2, instead of saying half of yours and half of mine equals 1. And that's why I want to get to later on. Rhonda, jump in there. Let me know what you're thinking.
Well, you just took my words when it came to people knowing, like, you know how I love to say, keep the main thing the main thing. You got to stay in your lane. And so if you don't know.
Now, Rhonda, I can't see your face. Turn your phone up so I can see your face. There you go.
So if you, go ahead. My arm got tired. I'm gonna be at home the next time. I'm gonna be at my house the next time.
Yeah, waterboarding over here.
But if you don't stay in your lane and know what you're supposed to do, 50-50 can tear up your relationship. And it's almost like you don't even want it to exist, because 50-50 automatically lets you know I don't have to show up completely. I don't have to be emotionally available all the time. I don't have to be physically available all the time. And I don't think that's what people sign up for, but that's what you end up with when you start checking the box on who does what, who did this, who didn't do this, who didn't do that. And so knowing what lane you're supposed to be in, in a 50-50 situation with your relationship can definitely make things go sideways. Back to you, JB.
Okay, TLC, jump in and let me know what you. Ron said I'm gonna rest my arm. TLC, jump in there, TLC. Let me know what you're thinking.
I guess I'm getting bogged down with the math. 1 + 1 and 50-50 and 100 and 100. When I look at it, it's like any relationship is a give and take, and there's those two different.
Who taught you that though, TLC?
Every relationship.
Why is it like that?
Every relationship.
No, it's not.
What relationship is not?
What is Jeff Bezos' girl giving up right now?
Her time.
Where's the give and take it? Where's the get? Oh, I'm on this 500-foot yacht. I'm giving up my time. See, TLC, you're saying stuff that we got taught. And again, we're talking as 4 people on this podcast. That's what I'm saying, TLC. Who taught you that? That relationships are give and take.
He's with her for a reason.
Agreed. But tell me where the give and take is. What's the give and take?
I just told you. He might be putting up the money. He might be putting up the money. But she's still putting up time. She's putting up her time.
And what else she putting up? What else she putting up on that yacht?
I'm not there on the yacht with him. I ain't on the yacht with him.
You know what they doing on that yacht?
Hey, that ain't for me to say. That ain't for me to say. But she's putting up something. Like Jay said. That's yeah. But she's putting up something.
But y'all hear the conversations that we're having. The reason I want to have is we're 4 people who get along. We 4 people who talk consistently. And you see how the haves and the have-nots get taught differently, right? If you become a millionaire, you're not going to meet another woman that's a millionaire. You ain't going to have no conversations like Kim Kardashian and Kanye had. That's a unique situation. Jeff Bezos, richest man in the world. He's with Lauren Sanchez. She don't have that kind of money, right? What I'm saying to you is, guys, and Jay, I appreciate what you said, but I think what you guys will find is if you study the people at different levels, our families, man, look, we came up in areas where we had to fight, claw, work for everything we got. So when you're working all the time, you're looking for somebody to share the load. But what happens when you get to a level where somebody else is sharing the load and you just point and write checks? You don't do nothing but point and write checks, right? How you need help with that? So now you're going for somebody that's just going to understand that he points and he writes checks. You don't need to get somebody else who points and writes checks. All y'all gonna do is fight. Y'all ever seen 2 Rams go head to head? That's what happens when you. If I had Jeff Bezos' money, y'all notice Jeff Bezos, the moment when his wife got 50-50, they couldn't stand each other. Started fighting. But at first it wasn't like that. So the reason why I'm saying that to you, TLC, when y'all hear me giving the math, whether it's 1 + 1 = 2, my one may be on the business side. Your one may be on the Jeff, let me throw gas on your fire of ambition. Right? That might be your 100. That might be your 100 contribution. You don't need to come in and match me. See, if Jay is in a relationship with somebody, that person don't need to be a better barber than Jay. Y'all ever know Jay just said it now. He get to that level, but let's just keep it professional. Why Jay ain't with another barber? They ain't gonna be with a who he gonna meet at his level? Damn sure got the best barber in Tampa. So who else he gonna get with? Now, look, I tell y'all all the time. I go into Jay's seat. I don't get to choose how my hair gonna get cut. Jay decide how my hair gonna get cut. You going around this table. You go in there ask for a deep tissue or hot stone. No, you getting this. Okay, well, okay, you know what I need, right? My point to you guys is, why ain't Jay with another barber? Why ain't Ronnie with another massage therapist? Why am I not with another business owner? And we don't know what TLC doing, but we're gonna get him there. We're gonna have a speed dating thing here pretty soon to let people call in like the love connection. But I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. I want y'all to hear what I'm saying, Jay, and then I want you to come back in there. Why didn't you choose another barber? And what I mean by that is, when we think about what our talent is, I don't need somebody to be another barber with me. Go ahead, Jay. Jump in there.
I mean, the reason why I ain't with another barber because I ain't found one that's fine that I really like at the time.
Damn.
So, they ain't better than you.
You know,
they ain't better than you, Jay.
If I find me a barber that was fine and attractive at the time I was looking, then you know what I mean, it probably would have been on and popping.
And could cut better than you, Jay. Could cut just at the same level or even better, right?
I don't mind.
He ain't looking.
Jay, I got to get on Jay.
He ain't looking for
I got to get on Jay.
Hell no,
I got to get on Jay. Jay can't stand to see a horrible haircut. Judge J cannot stand to see it. She got to be just as good.
Yeah, she got to be raw.
She got to be raw.
Yeah.
That's why he ain't with another barber, because what y'all gonna find is when I'm at the peak of my profession, I'm not gonna find somebody else at the peak of my profession because they ain't looking for me. And I ain't looking for them. I'm looking for compatibility in another area.
I see what you're
saying. What I'm saying?
You made a good point. I got you. Yeah.
Look, guys. This man go eat every week whenever I get my hair cut. And if one of his barbers are messing up somebody's head while he in there, he walk out slow to that door and keep looking back to see how he gonna do that blend. How she gonna do that blend. Y'all should see it. And then we get in the car. Man, I hope that haircut turn out right. Right? Am I lying, Jay?
No, you're not.
Am I lying? It bothers him. Rhonda gonna be the same way. When your profession, TLC, is in IT and real estate, you don't need anybody at that level, because what you need is somebody who can supplement or complement the areas that you don't have to be the expertise in.
Yeah, I agree. But my thing is that I would prefer at the age that I am now, from learning from the trials and tribulations of relationships prior, that I will no longer have any female around me at all if they're not doing something for themselves as well as I'm trying to do for myself. I'm not a babysitter. I'm not it's not my child I'm taking care of. And I'm not a child to be taken care of in a financial way like that as well, or a physical way. You know what I mean? So when I always say equally yoked, I really do mean that. I need to find attraction not only based on sexual, but also physical and mental, and where their mind is from the point we are now to wherever we're going to head to. My thing is my days of having females just because of the looks and nothing to bring to the table because, oh my gosh, you just have my time or my looks or my big old butt and blah, blah, blah. You should appreciate me for who I am. Da, 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 da. No. Ain't none of that happening, because I can go get that anywhere, or I could go pay for it. Right, Jeff? So it is what it is. Let's be honest.
But in TLC, I want you to jump in there. What you think when you hear when you hear Big J say that?
Well, I mean, he's right, but again, I don't think it's a 50-50 thing or 100-100 thing. I think you're both working for the same destination. Like, I know a couple. They're married. One lady is a real estate agent.
Okay, good. You ain't talking about us. Go ahead. No. The lady is like a real estate agent, so she handles a lot of the paperwork and stuff. The guy, they flip homes. The guy, he does a lot of the inside work, a lot of the rebuilds, things like that. They both are working towards one goal. So, but it's not 50-50. It's not like, oh, well, I only do this and I do this. They both work together. So it's about being 100%. But, sometimes that might be 70-30, Sometimes that might be 60-40. Maybe it just depends on the whole, how run down it is. But TLC, you're making my point. It should be 200. If I'm giving 100 and you giving 100, that's 200. That's not 100. Okay, I tell you what, TLC.
That's not
I tell you what. But it's not
percentages. But
agreed. But why don't we have 200%? Why are we saying 50-50 instead of 100-100? That's why I believe 50-50 is bad for relationships, because what happens, look at we debating. Here's what they got to do. Here's what I'm going to do. Well, guess what? Here's what I'm going to do, which adds up to 100. Here's what you're going to do, which adds up to 100, which means collectively is 200. Now I'm going to go there, TLC. So you look, TLC, you don't get it. TLC, you don't get it.
We're going to go back to fractions. There's a pie.
This cat, a sociology degree. He got his little
There's nothing more than 100. 100.
Yeah, but what if it's two pies, TLC?
Oh my
That's
God.
all I'm saying.
You got two
Each
pies.
person represents a pie.
You still have 100%. Each
TLC.
pie would be 50 and 50.
No, TLC.
I know my math.
See, look, the single one out here trying to tell me now. This is the first thing.
Single don't have anything to do with math. There's 100%.
But TLC
goes past 100%.
TLC.
If you got 4 pies, it's still 100%.
TLC. Okay, here's what I'm telling you. Go into business. Go into business, TLC. Go into business. The first thing they say is, was our business up? Was our business up 50%, 100%, 200%, 500%? Let's talk business. See, you telling me you limiting it to you trying to make it 100. But in essence, we want to be up 200%, 300%. If Jay did this many haircuts in the month of June last year, he wants to be up double that, triple that in the month of June this year. Same thing with Rhonda Massage there. TLC, we don't think in terms of exponential. That's why the scriptures say, one will set 1,000 to flight. Y'all go get your book. It's in there. One will set 1,000 to flight. Two will set 10,000 to flight. So if that's in that book, if that's in that Bible, why don't we think like that?
Mm-hmm.
Why? One will set 1,000 to flight. So one should be able to just set 1,000 to flight. You should do that on your own. When you get with somebody else, now y'all set 10,000
you multiply.
to flight. You multiply, right? So, Rhonda, jump in there. Let me know what you're thinking before I go to this next step. Prove my point. After I prove my point. Go ahead. TLC done got me fired up.
Yes. Y'all done said a lot.
I'm gonna call him and rip him. I'm gonna call him and rip him tomorrow. Let him know. Look, bro, it's time I got to talk to you.
I think it's the bottom of that liquor he's finishing up. whatever. Whatever he's drinking on.
I'm the only one making sense. I know percentages. Nothing
And
goes
I just
over
gave
100.
Yes, it does.
No.
If I'm up 200%, 300%, 400%. Come on, TLC, let's talk business now. See, you said nothing go over 100. You said nothing go over 100.
I don't know. I'm not half of a body. I'm a full body. So,
I'm a full body. That's it. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hey, go ahead, Rhonda, jump in there.
No, again, right? It goes to everybody's capacity is different, but you should always yourself be whole as a person. But again, if your mate, your spouse, your significant other don't have 100% of their emotional capacity available to you, then somehow that other percentage is going to be made up somewhere else. And like I always say, when the conversation gets shorter with you, it's longer with somebody else. So you're going to have to have that. You're going to have there's going to be some makeup where it does equal up to 100, but you need each person carrying their weight that they bring to the relationship, point blank and period. Because at the end of the day, you can't be the one. Eventually, you're going to need that person. If their emotional IQ is lower than yours, eventually throughout the time of your relationship, you're going to need that to come up to a certain level for your needs to be met, right? So that's why I said, not only do you need to know what someone's love language is, you need to know their fight language. Because what if you love to talk and about an argument, like you know what I'm saying? Or if you shut down or if you cry. Like those are things you need to know, because that's going to be lacking if that's how you communicate. And if you're looking for somebody to get hype every time y'all argue, and then that person's just nonchalant, like, okay, you done, then it's going to be an issue, because there is something missing
that ain't
the
normal.
Completeness of that relationship. No,
that happened on the podcast. That happened on the podcast every time I'm on. That's the comments I get. Man, shut up so other people can talk.
Well,
okay, all right, yeah. No, but I think we're all on the same page. I think what I want people to do when it comes to this podcast is know how you're defined. Get away, start doing 100. Because I think when you start saying 100, that person got to listen to how you wake up every day and do your thing. And the 100 helps you get away from the financial part. Because that money situation is going to cause a lot of issues. Because guess what, guys? Guess what, Rhonda? You're right. If I'm a genius at making money, I don't need somebody else to be a genius at making money. I need somebody who understands I'm a money maker, but I also need to understand that they are a support role. Because guess what, guys? Robin is just as beneficial as that man once you see their role. And it doesn't make Robin less of them. But when Robin decides he wants to go out on his own, ain't nobody going to see that movie. Right? That's why supplemental, complementary, all that kind of stuff. We need to use those words. I wanted to show y'all something because y'all know your boy. I done got to this technology now. Let's do this thing. Let me see. Hold on. Let's do that thing. TLC. What TLC?
Why 50-50 relationships isn't possible? That's why I just said.
Yeah, can y'all see that?
Different value.
Can y'all see that? Now, y'all know I had to bring it in. Y'all know I got to bring it in. Now, let me just scroll down so y'all can see this stuff. Now, y'all know I'm getting used to this technology. Right? Y'all know I'm getting used to this technology, right? Sorry to break it to you, but 50-50 relationships don't work. Okay? Y'all see this is at Hey Simply. It's unreasonable to expect that 100% of the time you will be able and willing to do half of everything in your relationship and expect your partner to pick up the other half. For example, if the rule in the household is that the husband cooks in the kitchen and the wife cleans up, that would be an example of a 50-50 partnership. It's certainly fair and should be easy enough to keep up with. But life is not like that. Look at what this person said. More than that, this person has suggested the 60-60 rule. This doesn't mean that the contributions are perfectly equal. It just means that each person is given his or her part plus that extra 10%. Now, I'm going now. I'm sorry. I'm going. I wanted to get to this part right here. Can y'all see that bold part? Can y'all see that bold part right there?
Yeah. Starting with the problem.
The problem with 50-50 is that if you define your relationship in terms of fairness and equality, then your partnership soon turns into a contest with scorekeeping as a priority, TLC. Guys, this is why I tell people to start using the phrase 100-100. If I'm in partnership with you, I'm not competing with you. If I'm in partnership with you, I'm not competing with you. You know, I don't ever go into Jay's chair and say, nah, Jay, I'm going to cut it myself. I just want you to watch. I'm going to show you. I've been studying you the whole time you've been cutting my hair. I'm going to show you I can do it too.
I'd be like, okay, just pay me.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Right. I'm going to have to pay him. Then he's going to have to fix it. So I'm going to have to pay him more. Right. That's the way it works. Now, Rhonda, what do you think when you see that?
Listen, I totally agree with it. I mean, it's basically like, it's just letting you know, again, if roles aren't clearly defined and you don't have the capacity for it, yeah, I totally agree with this statement because it does not work. It does not work. Or it hurts your relationship.
Before I get you in there, Jay, I'm going to say this, guys. If I were cooking and cleaning my house for myself when I was single, why the hell I stopped doing that when we get married? I said it last week on the podcast. Domestic chores are not a contribution to a marriage.
You get tired.
If I cooked and cleaned for myself, I did all the stuff for myself when I was single. Why do I start? If I paid my tab when I was single, why am I going to now say I'm going to do half of that when I get in a marriage? Right? Nobody gets with you so that you give half. People get with you. You do your 100 and I do my 100, and now we good. Because guess what? At the end of the day, I think what happens is, and again, it's confirmation bias. And Jay, I want you to jump in at it. And TLC, I'll get you in there. It's confirmation bias. I want you to see life the way I see it. And so because I value this, you should value that too. When realistically, I value this. And what makes us work is that you value that. Right? And so one of the things you guys will find is I hate dressing up. I wear the same stuff all the time. That's why I need somebody with me who like to dress up. Because guess what happens when the person I'm with dresses up? Everybody in that place says, who is that? Mm-hmm. And guess what? I said this on previous podcasts. When they see her, what do they say? Damn, he must have money. What does he do? See, we don't understand how that dynamic works. What does he do? Right? At the end of the day, guys, you would think that attention is made for somebody else. But that attention comes right back to you when you say, hey, do what you do best. Because when that person is operating in what they do best, it just brings a reflection back on you that you're letting them, you're allowing them, you're pushing them to do what they do. And it may not be a tangible financial thing. It may just be an attention thing. You walk in the room and everybody want to know who you are. Jump in there, Big J. Let me know what you're thinking. In TLC, we coming to you.
Again, it goes off of how people see their relationship. Everybody see things different. What works for you may not work for others. What works for others may not work for you. It's just one of those things where that's just how it is. Again, I know plenty of people who work for a living or have businesses or CEOs of companies, yep, and their significant other don't do nothing other than just be their supporting partner, which is cool. It's fine. Yep. That's just what they agree upon, and that's how they live their relationship and how they live their life. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, me per se, I don't care what tax bracket I'm in. I'm not having a wife just not doing nothing. For if I sit there and just have a female just for support, that's a given. That's automatically comes.
But Jay, I gotta hop in there, Jay. I think the audience is gonna want to hear this.
Mm-hmm.
what person have you met in that category that the wife doesn't do nothing? Because in those situations, what I see the wife doing, I see the wife doing a lot of charity stuff. I see the wife doing a lot of things to make sure there's balance, so that you're not just doing business all the time. Somebody you can chill with, somebody who helps you relax, and all that kind of stuff, and all that has value. So my point to you is, so it's just like Lauren Sanchez. She looks like she's just hanging out on a boat, but she's also controlling who his financial donations go to. But a lot of people are gonna see it as, damn, she don't do nothing, but she's controlling the charity. A lot of them do things that we don't know about because we've never had that kind of money. You see what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. I don't care what tax bracket you're in. But when you look at those people in those tax brackets, those women are not sitting around doing nothing. Those women know how to cater to that man at that level. Jump back in there.
Again, that's catering. You know what I mean? Just because someone chooses to go ahead and understand somebody's financial, like what you mentioned, you said that she just
like their charity donations.
Charity donations, all this other stuff. Okay, so prime example, I have a female that actually have a job, works for a living, cleans the house, pays the bills, cooks, cleans, takes care of the kids, wrote a book, have a foundation, all of the above.
Agreed.
Don't complain about nothing. That's just so all the hats that this individual wears, when she looks at another female that hardly does anything based to that, it's like,
whoa. But I think, Jay, that's what we're talking about, right? Mm-hmm. What'll happen is this. One of the things I had to learn, and TLC, I want you to jump in there too, because Jay bringing up a good point. What we gotta ask is, was that what was asked of her?
No, so not at all.
And if she's been asked to do something and she's not doing it, that's a different thing.
Right. See,
that's a completely different.
All the things when I met this individual, they were already doing that. You know what I mean? So, like prime example, you said that if you go to if you was washing dishes or whatever by yourself, why you're not going to do it in your household? I agree to that. You know what I mean? But my thing is that what if I wasn't washing dishes in my household? What if I was getting food to eat all the time? What if I was bringing,
I agree with that.
Yeah,
if you're doing DoorDash all the time, you're gonna have to keep doing DoorDash when you get together with somebody.
No, you don't got to, because guess what? When I came in to eat meeting somebody else that loves to cook and choose to cook for their family, you know what I'm saying? Without me asking, it just happens. Then you know what I mean? I'm gonna be able to go ahead and appreciate that. So I don't. One thing about me, I don't ask anybody to do nothing other than be themselves 100%. And just like they want me to be myself 100%.
But I'm good. But I'm glad you preach. I'm glad you preach right there, Jay. What if that being themselves is not having a role where they have to wear all those hats financially?
Right. Then it may not be for me.
Right. And that's what a lot of people got to understand, right? Jay's 100% that you got to bring to the table requires something different than what TLC's 100% or what my 100%.
Right.
Or
that's
what
why I say everybody's different.
You got to define your 100%. Jump in there, TLC, then we're going to finish it up with Rhonda.
Going back to my original point with the plan.
Don't bring up math. Don't bring up math or I'm going to end up hanging up.
Same thing with the playing cards. Just because you give someone a playing card, you're both exchanging the same thing, a playing card for a playing card. That doesn't mean they're equal value. So I don't see anything as being 50%. Everything is a negotiation. It's about what are you getting out of it? Can you live with that? Versus what are you giving up? Can you live with that? That doesn't mean 50-50.
Now, here's the funny thing, TLC. I want to bring that up real fast. I want Rhonda to jump in there. When you hear him say giving up, why does relationships mean giving up something? Because here's the deal, guys. If a business merges, they ain't merging so to give nothing up. They merging so that they can take advantage of the synergy that both of them have. Jump in there, Rhonda. Let me know what you think when you hear me say that.
Well, but when businesses merge, though, people lose their jobs, right? Or, like some things do get lost in the transition. But again, if you don't know your capacity for what you bring to the table, you're going to always end up on the short end of the stick and always having to compromise. And I think that's where people go wrong. They just think being in a relationship is going to magically fix something that they thought they wanted, or or
That's
thought
a
they
different
had.
podcast. Relationships don't fix nothing; they amplify stuff. Relationships don't fix nothing; they amplify. They now and again, guys. I think now before we get ready to close this out, and I get y'all's final thoughts for the night. I think as you guys are looking at this, whether you, I'm gonna pull out TLC's line. We gonna talk math. Whether you 50-50, 100, 200%, 300%. I think one of the things we got to look at is these percentages. Here's the funny thing. Me and TLC, pretty much from the same area, went to the same college. College roommates. And look at this. We said, how much time have we spent together and we can't agree on this? Now, we ain't even together. Right? Like, I mean, can you imagine being together with somebody and this is the discussion you trying to have on what 50-50 mean to you? And this is why relationships suck, right? Relationships suck. And it only becomes an issue when relationships become formalized. Because when y'all are not formal, y'all just flowing. Mm-hmm. Y'all just flowing. All these rules kick in when the relationship comes formal or we go public. Because the best relationships are the private relationships, right? It's so funny. I always said any woman who came into my life would not have to work. Why? Not because of that woman. I watched my mama work. I watched my mama work because my dad couldn't. Right? That's a part of my 100%. Right, Rhonda? Yeah. Right? And at the end of the day, that's a part of my 100%. 4 kids working by yourself because your dad couldn't. So at the end of the day, a lot of people don't understand. And that's why I'm trying to tell people. Always ask the why. When we have a 100 conversation, man, why are you like that? What triggered that? Because a lot of people start thinking it's about them, and it's not about them. What motivates you? Because I want to make sure I don't get in the way of that motivation. So if somebody came into my life, a lot of people meet me and they want to compete with me. But I'm not a competitive guy. I'm a collaborative guy. I'm a complimentary guy. Right? I ain't about to fight. Hey, Ryan, I ain't about to fight. But what I'm trying to say to you guys, that's why I want to have this discussion. And I'm glad Jay brought up what he brought up. Because this next podcast that we do when TLC get back from his comedy thing, are gold diggers good or bad? Are gold diggers good or bad? Because just like we didn't get taught wrong about 50-50 and these cliches and all this kind of stuff, there's a lot of people who never asked Jay. Jay has been in a relationship. All of us have been in relationships. Ain't nobody ever asked the questions we asking on this podcast tonight. Ain't nobody ever asked these questions, right? Or they ask when we in our 40s. What these conversations didn't take place in our 20s. Either he tight or she tight. I'm about to roll up on it. Right? That's it. Yeah. Nobody ever taught us to ask these questions. Big J, what's your closing thoughts for the night, brother? Appreciate you coming back on tonight, man. Hope you come back for the gold digging one. I can't wait to hear what you got to say. I think I heard a little bit of it tonight. But
exactly. I'm kind of picking on that part, but you know, my closing statements is this. You know what I mean? I heard you say, you know, sometimes people got to ask the why. Well, my opinion to that is that I don't got to ask for anybody's why for their own relationship. What people choose to do in their relationship, they choose to want to do in their relationship. How if they happy with it, I'm happy for them too. As long as there's no toxic environment, toxic relationship, domestic disputes, domestic violence, whatever you guys choose to do in your relationship, man, and it makes you happy, I'm happy for you. Because I don't need to ask one of my friends or my friends in my inner circle why you choose to be like that in your relationship if I see that you're happy. You know what I mean? It's none of my business nor my concern. However, we all choose to pick our relationships. That word choice. We choose to be with who we choose to be with. I never walk into my own relationships with saying, oh my gosh, let me see what percentage I'm going to take on this one. No, I don't do that because I don't even think about percentages, numbers, nothing. When I choose to meet somebody, they show me who they are. I show them who I am. And if we are compatible and we choose to want to continue our journey together and it works for us, no matter what you do or what you don't do, then that's fine. Like prime example, if I got with somebody that I knew for a fact didn't work, didn't want to pay no bills or whatever, if I chose to be with that individual, then by means, that's what I like to be with, and I have to go ahead and do what I got to do. But if I choose the other, then by all means, I have that choice on who I choose to want to be happily ever after with. And that's all that matters.
Okay. TLC, what's your closing statement tonight, brother? And don't bring up math again. Give me something without no. Don't bring up no baseball card.
I'm mathed out, but I know what 100% is. And again, I think every relationship is just a give and take. I really do. And it comes down to, are you getting what you want out of the relationship? And are you willing to live with what you have to give up? And that's basically what it boils down to. And that's not going to be 50-50. It's just not going to be.
Okay. Rhonda, what you thinking? What's your closing statement?
My closing thoughts are like at the core to a lot of relationships is a lot of comparison to other relationships, which is unfortunate. So if one of your friends know that their man did this for them or their lady did that for them, then they're going to bring those expectations, unrealistic expectations to their relationships a lot of times. So if you stay in your lane, know your capacity, you won't have to worry about 50-50 where it's going to tear up your relationship. Do what you do as a whole person and then go from there. Back to you, JB.
Man, look, y'all know my closing statement. I keep telling people, man, relationships are about meeting people who giving the best version of themselves on a routine basis. And the best version of you may not be what I do, and what my best version may not be what you do. But that's why this is real people having real conversations, guys. Hopefully y'all listen to this tonight. All the people out here listening to it, you can see 4 different ways. And you better sit down in your relationship and figure out what works for you so that y'all don't end up having a 50-50 discussion at the divorce court table. Right. And because what'll happen is that define your 50-50. I'm gonna go with TLC, right? We're gonna stick with what gets y'all to 100. What gets y'all to 100? And for me, I get myself to 100, and what the other person gets to their 100. Now we 200, and that's how we rock. That's how we vibe. Their contribution ain't less than mine, no matter what I bring tangibly to the table or what they bring intangibly to the table. And I think what we got to understand is that tangible and intangible has the same value, right? At the end of the day, they both produce fruit. And that's my takeaway from tonight, man. And y'all know what it is. It's the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. I'm the Real Cigar Jeff. Y'all do me a favor, man. Look below in the description. Get the merch. Support the channel. We on our way to 100,000 subscribers, man. Y'all make sure y'all leave us a comment, too. Because I know some of y'all going to text me. Y'all don't comment. Y'all just text me. And then you tell me everything you didn't agree with me on phone calls and text. I don't know why y'all don't want to get down in the comment section to help my channel grow. Y'all don't want people to know y'all listening to the podcast. And man, hit that subscribe button, mash that like button, turn on that bell for notifications, man. And man, I just appreciate my panel. Big J, tell them where they can find you at on the socials, brother.
Big J the Barber, Instagram, BIGJAYTHEBARBER.
Man, and on YouTube too, right, Jay?
Oh, yeah, Big J the Barber on YouTube. I guess nobody want to see me on YouTube because that thing ain't growing, but we going to get there somehow.
They hating, Jay. They hate. TLC. Tell them where they can find you on the socials, brother.
As always, I'm on Instagram, TL Clayton #1.
Man, where else they can find you, TLC?
Where else am I doing there?
Patreon, TLC.
Patreon, yeah, I haven't uploaded the video on Patreon in a minute, so I got to go up there. It's the joke I didn't tell, but I haven't put one up there lately, so I got to
TLC, man. Stop being modest, bro. I told you if I got a platform, I'm gonna support my people. Tell them where they can find you on June 20th, TLC.
Mm-hmm. June 20th, I will be at Good Nights Comedy Club for the 2023 amateur comedy event. It's round 1, so we'll see if I'm able to make it out of that round, and we'll see what happens.
And guys, we know he ain't gonna make it out of round 1, but this podcast is launching careers.
Probably not, but it'll be fun either way.
I'm just messing with you, bro. This man getting out of round 1. I'm calling it right now, guys. He in the lab working on his stuff. That's why he came. That's why he came to the podcast tonight with a James Worthy basketball card. He ain't thinking about the podcast right now. He thinking about he gonna get out of round 1. I done seen the lineup.
I'm gonna do like Mayweather and get a disqualification. It's just gonna be chaos in the club.
Yeah, it's gonna be chaos, TLC. Just start throwing blows like what happened at the Mayweather fight this weekend. I guarantee you that'll get you out of the second round. TLC, man, we're proud of you, brother. Keep doing that thing, man. Y'all, if y'all in the Raleigh-Durham area, you in the North Carolina area, man, go to Charlie Goodnights. Check out my boy TLC, man. He doing his comedy thing. He trying to lead his podcast as much as he possibly can. He can't wait to tell me to go F myself. So I'm just telling y'all go support him. He tired of this podcast. He said y'all need to get 100,000 subscribers so he can get to the next level. Rhonda, tell them where they can find you at. I appreciate your flying colors, TLC. Yeah. Y'all go get that merch. Everybody go get that merch. Rhonda, go ahead and tell them where they can find you at on the socials.
You can find me at LMBT on IG.
And man, y'all got to understand, why is Rhonda in her car? She just left an event with a lot of her clients in that event, man, but she still made time for the podcast. And I applaud. She in there doing. See, guys, for all y'all who want to get into business, business never stop. For all y'all want to get with somebody in business, business never stop. Y'all see Big J walking around in Tampa. Jay gonna have a tuxedo on. He gonna have that Razor's Edge shirt underneath it. Right? That's he gonna wear that shirt. He gonna throw that bow tie right on top of it, and it's Jordan. And man, I'm the Real Cigar Jeff. You can find me on Instagram at the Real Cigar Jeff. You can find me on Facebook at Smoke Something, Drink Something Podcast. And again, guys, hit that like button, mash that subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications. And until next time, we gon' holler. If it come up.
No edits.
Hold on. No. There it is. There it is. I got y'all. We got to end it the right way.
It's your boy JB.
Yeah.
Live and direct to you. You know what it is. Like and subscribe to.
Yes.